every time a social media personality does something crazy, murders somebody, there are always TikTokers. What is it with TikTokers and unaliving people? What is it? Like every time it's always a TikToker. At this point, I feel like being called a TikToker is probably a bad thing now. What's good, YouTube? Welcome to another reaction video. This TikToker named Mr. Prada has been accused of unaliving his therapist. Now, I don't know too much about this kid. He's a 20-year-old kid. He's pretty famous on TikTok. I think he has about 4 million followers. He's been there for some time. I've seen his TikToks here and there. I don't know too much about him, but apparently he unalived his therapist. Do you know how crazy you have to get to unalive your therapist? Your therapist is supposed to be somebody that you're supposed to confide in, and you can tell stuff that you can't tell other people, that know so much about you, your safe space, but you eventually kill him. So I don't know too much about this story. You know, I'm just like, I'm just in shock, and I want to watch this video to see what they have to say about this situation, because this is really crazy to me.
A 20-year-old man popular on TikTok has been arrested in connection with the murder of a Louisiana therapist. Terrion Thomas's account, called Mr. Prada 456, has around 4 million followers. This was his most recent post, before authorities in Dallas, Texas, took him into custody. Therapist William Abraham's body was found September 29th, wrapped in a tarp on the side of a highway, police say. He was killed by blunt force trauma. According to Abraham's website, he was a life coach, licensed professional counselor, and motivational speaker. Investigators released these surveillance photos of whom they say was the last person known to have been driving Abraham's car. At this time, the possible connection between the two men is unknown. Thomas is charged with second-degree murder and obstruction of justice, among other charges. He is being held without bond.
Now, it's crazy because every time a social media personality does something crazy, murders somebody, there are always TikTokers. What is it with TikTokers and unaliving people? What is it? Like every time it's always a TikToker. At this point, I feel like being called a TikToker is probably a bad thing now. Look, I make TikToks. I don't call myself a TikToker, but I have a full-time job, but I make TikTok on the side. But those ones that TikTok is their full-time job, they're always crazy. Shit like this is always happening. I don't understand. This story is just so crazy to me. It's like, as I said earlier, like, I think your therapist is supposed to be your safe space, but I don't know too much about what's going on, so I'm not gonna say too much. But he's a very young kid, so I wonder what drove him to go that far. I just wonder. I wonder what the comments are saying. He showed signs on TikTok. Once his therapist assaulted him, and kids, wait, what? His therapist, like this therapist, and I think it broke him. It wasn't right. I just wish he got more help and reported him. I don't know if it's this therapist, because if it was this therapist, why is this therapist still free and like still giving him sessions? You know, it has to be a different therapist. Wasn't the therapist accused of assaulting an 11-year-old? Oh my God, what's going on now? It was never confirmed by the police or authorities whether it was the same therapist who essayed him or if it was a different therapist that did it. However, it remained unanswered as the claims could be false rumors made up by the internet. That's damn. Being called a TikTok star is not a privilege but an insult. That's what I said. But anyway, to go back to this, this therapist was, I don't know. I just feel like if he was the one that essayed this guy, he shouldn't still be his therapist. It's such a weird situation. Or am I wrong? Please let me know in the comment section if I'm missing something. I strongly believe that this is not a random act. I think that therapist did something to him inappropriate. I strongly believe that this justifies murder. The therapist was being arrested in 2015. Wow. Okay. For allegedly inappropriately touching an 11-year-old boy. Holy shit. Okay. Now now I'm starting to understand maybe the motive behind it. I don't know. Like, still, this is gonna be a tough case. I'm gonna have to look into this, guys, because like, how would the therapist that was like doing all this inappropriate shit, why would he still have his license, and why would he still be able to have clients? I don't know, man. The therapist assaulted Mr. Prada or someone he's close to? Is there proof? That's the thing, there's no proof, so everyone's just saying their own piece right now, which is crazy. Oh my god. Please let me know in the comments, please, what you guys think about this whole entire situation. And yeah, as I said, I never really watched his content in the past. I might see it a few times. He was pretty popular on social media. 20-year-old, he has his whole life ahead, and this shit happening now, somebody, that's crazy. If you like this video, guys, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.